Hi, my name is JT Thomas, and this is Positive Feedback Loop, where I have great conversations with interesting people. Today I am joined by a great photographer and even better friend, Chris Bauer. Chris, thank you very much for joining me today. How you doing?
Good, thank you so much. I'm feeling excited.
Feeling good. And we have a guest today.
Yeah, Nutmeg.
Nutmeg.
Yeah, she's always with me.
Always with you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And how did you get connected with Nutmeg?
So it was a cold day in February about 5 years ago, and I was walking around outside, and she was just on the sidewalk strutting her stuff, skinny as can be, and I was following her around for a little bit, asking people like, you know this dog, and they were like, no, and I was like, okay. So she finally like rolled on the ground and let me take her in. And then we went to the Humane Society, and I was like, is she chipped? Does she have an owner? They're like, no, we'll let you know in a month if anybody reaches out. And nobody. So I got to keep her. I wasn't thinking about a dog, and I never thought of a small dog, but she's perfect.
Actually, yeah, she's been an absolute angel.
Yeah.
I've been here a couple times, and she is wonderful. But yeah, I wanted to just kind of talk about how our friendship began, and some of the process, what you do, what you're involved in, and kind of go from there. Does that sound pretty easy?
Yes, we can do it.
All right.
Yeah.
So if memory serves correct, I shot you a message back in 2014. And it had been after seeing some of the work that you've done with a friend of mine, Nick Peroni's band at the time, which was called Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
Then went into Welcome Home.
And now
they're Pretty Talk.
Yeah, Pretty Talk.
My apologies. Sorry, Nick.
All different music genres. They are incredibly talented and can flow and always put on a good show. But yeah, I love them. Love them all.
Yeah. And I actually shot you a message for different reasons, because I wanted to, and eventually maybe someday, be on GQ or in GQ.
It's coming.
And so we just kind of shot a message, and it was before I had my kidney transplant, and you were very welcoming and open to the possibility, and that's really how our friendship began almost 8 years ago.
Yep.
And I will say that my life has been nothing but enriched ever since that. So thank you for all that you've done for me. But what I want to know is you've been involved in a lot of projects. You've done shoots for bands, you've done weddings, you've done headshots, and you've been involved in a lot of very significant moments in people's lives. And can you tell me, was there maybe a period of your life or a moment that said, hey, this is something I want to pursue, and this is what I want to put energy into, and can you share that with us?
Yeah. I guess since the beginning, which I was like 18 when I picked up my first camera. It was a little Canon Rebel. This was before video was in cameras, just kind of 8 megapixels. Found that it was something, I didn't know at the time that I had like anxiety. I didn't know what depression was. I didn't know anything about this. I was just like, I love going out and exploring by myself in my thoughts and like able to see the world. I liked kind of like seeing how weird things are placed, like the way people leave things, the way almost if people lived a life and then left it. I like to like see the things left behind. That's kind of my more personal exploration with photography. And then there's how do we make this a sustainable business, and like how can I do this all the time? And that is where like people who people get their photographs taken when they're feeling their best, or there's an event that they're proud of, or it's a big day for them. And so I'm always invited to these occasions where everyone's happy, everyone's maybe stressed out, and some people aren't having the best time. But it's those types of moments where I feel like I thrive in and can really be a calm presence for people, and I try my best. It doesn't work every time. Like a lot of weddings, it's like people are chaotic. I can get flustered. So, cut to weddings with COVID and masks. I was like, thank goodness I'm wearing a mask because they can't see my like, ooh, face. Oh gosh. Or like, yeah, I'm like drowning in like a giant wedding party. Like I can't command the attention of a bunch of people in a wedding party. It's challenging. But I guess like it has always been, this is obviously what I need to be doing. I need to be, for my personal sanity and growth and need for new energies in my life, is to continually photograph or be documenting new experiences, new people, new, I don't know, just everything I can get to. And so that's all been word of mouth. People are sharing that, you know, I make them feel comfortable, or the pictures are, hopefully they like the pictures, but I definitely mostly am like, you made me feel so comfortable, you know, and that's good to hear. Is that I think like a dentist or someone you have to go visit and like kind of open up to, you know, your mouth or whatever, you get to be comfortable with that. And so people, I feel like, are comfortable because I'll be a little bit more zany. I'll be a little bit kind of like, I'll open the gates for them to then open up a bit, because I find that one, it's the most fun I'm having in the week is being able to shoot, and then everyone leaves and then I'm kind of down again. So a lot of this is for my mental health. It's like I get to work at something that lifts my spirits up, you know. So there's not really a specific shoot or group that I work with that kind of said like, this is going to be what I do. From the beginning, it was very much, I think I found what I need to do, and that led me to choose to study photography. And there are so many ways. You don't need to study photography to be a photographer. I don't agree with that, but for me personally, it opened up my eyes to so many different mediums of art making, different photographers, all available on Google. You know, you can research all you want, but the school was just catered for like, I'm gonna funnel all this information into your little brains, and it excited me. I was there 24/7. It was a 24/7 access to this studio at my school, so I was just like there all the time. Never partied, never did anything. I was just like, I'm in school. So I really give University of Illinois in Chicago a lot of credit for kind of taking this initial interest and then just like really fertilizing it and giving it a good solid base. So yeah, photography like it's an obsession, you know. It's I love endlessly, but with all relationships, it ebbs and flows. You know, I've had really down times. I don't remember a lot of my shoots because I can black out but still perform, and I'm just not there. But I have pictures to remember. Yeah. I hope that answered the question.
Yes, it does. And you mentioned you know, mental health and depression a bit, and how, you know, you're involved with all these different events, and a very empathetic person.
Yeah.
And so I want to say, you know, from not only the photography standpoint, the value that I have with you as a friend in my life is, at a time where during COVID, had to be very careful with my health, being immunosuppressed. I was very isolated. I was very alone, and I consulted with my doctor about being put on some antidepressant medication. And you were the person who I reached out to about your experience on it, because you have been open with me, and you've shared this, and so that's how I felt comfortable, not only in our shoots, but to be able to express that challenge that I was facing. And you were an extremely beneficial resource, and made me feel at ease about the conversation, about mental health because, with my own life and my own health and all that stuff, I almost feel responsible to always be positive. And it's not easy.
No.
And so it's one of those things where, having a friend like you who is not only talented, but is so caring about each person that you work with and the relationship that has developed from a DM on social media. I am forever grateful for just that aspect that you have. And so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have a conversation with you, share a little bit about you, highlight just your impact on my life. So in return, what is something maybe in the next year or 5 years that I can help contribute to your headspace, your well-being, your projects, something that maybe you're passionate about?
Yeah.
How may I or the people who watch this best support you during that process and can make whatever obstacle you're facing that much easier to handle?
Great question. So a big part of my mental health is the asking for help is not a learned behavior that I have. And so it's only been recently, like within the last few months, that I've been like, okay, I have this massive space that I really want to work. I want this to be the idea of a photo studio that when you come in, it feels comfortable. There's not clutter everywhere. Everything makes sense. Things are where they belong. I've seen studios, everyone does it differently. So I don't really have a outline of how a photo studio should look. And so I started asking my friend Larry, like, can you come and just help? And like, there's been other people who are like, I'll do it, I'll come over, I'll help. And everyone's just so, I'm grateful for all this support, but that also causes me like a whirlwind of like, I don't know how to manage all this. I don't know when to do this. And so it was just like the timing worked. Larry needed some work, and I was like, I gotta work. This makes sense to me, not come and just do things for me. That doesn't make sense for me. And so trading is always good. I love trading with hairstylists for new hair color, and like anything. I'm like, can I have a painting for headshots? Like, there's always just trades I can do, and I'm open to all of that. And then I guess for me, it's like with the friendships I have that I've met through photo shoots, is like, I guess I would just like these cultivated relationships to continue. That's right, Nutmeg. That's right. We need to keep hanging out, everybody. And so it's okay. Come here. And so I guess like asking for help is just the biggest challenge. So I don't know what to really ask for,
Sure.
For me, it would just be, let's continue our relationship, and like whatever it is, even if it's goofy stuff, we don't need to like have a need, like I think with your mental health and like needing encouragement, I'm glad you reached out, because that's where I feel like I have a not education background, but an experience background in 2 years of like not wanting to live, but like going through the process of like 7 different medications, and like they take a month to get into your system, and that not being fast enough at all, and then it being these like outpatient, inpatient, seeing a therapist, all this stuff that someone who doesn't want to do anything is now being told, you need to go do all this stuff. It's like, I don't have the means right now. Can like someone just like carry me through this just for a moment, and then I'll be fine. And if someone just needs that encouragement that this doesn't last forever, and there are new feelings, or you're hung up on something external. So I feel like with some people's mental illness, it can be because of something external, or it's an internal chemical imbalance that needs to be worked through with medication or talk therapy and a lot of like reconnecting. Because I guess we're raised in a way that we didn't learn everything about how to exist and how to work with each other, how to communicate. And we were learning this. I feel like I learned after college, like how to exist, how to be me authentically. Still learning. I don't think I'll ever stop learning how to properly be with people and share with people. And so I think like I'm going to need help. And so having a friend like you to call on, always down to talk about silly things or serious things, you know, kind of get on tangents just for fun, and meet up for coffee. Like these are all just things that I find my schedule is just, I leave it open to photograph. I'm like, I don't schedule out for me. I don't schedule out for fun. I don't go on float trips. I'm looking at them. FOMO is like my not my best friend, but it's there. It's a relative I don't want to keep coming over. It's like FOMO. Oh no, I didn't plan that trip. I didn't invite all my friends to go do this because I'm leaving my schedule open in some weird way to like always be available for the shoot, be available for the clients. And that's exactly what they are, but they do tend to be friends. I instantly, like, we have this collaborative mindset and like flow, and like I do feel close with everyone I work with. And maybe they don't feel the same way, but I feel like y'all are cool. Like y'all are we're just having fun, but I'm also hired for them the day they feel the best, you know, back to like, these are their best days. Like some people come just because maybe they never got senior portraits and they just are like, I'm feeling my best now, I'm 27, I need my picture taken. And I'm like, right on, like I'm glad you like love yourself and we're gonna explore. So that's kind of, I guess, what I need is just people to reach out and say, what up? What's going on? Wanna hang?
Yeah.
Wanna hang just to hang, you know? My hangs are usually a photo shoot, and I kind of want to change that. Balance it out a little bit more. Schedule in more. I'm walking aimlessly in the woods, just to like reconnect with nature. I feel like we're in a great city for connecting with nature. It's quick, you can get out of the city pretty easy. And so, yeah, I don't think I ever want to leave. I love this city so much, and I think we have so many talented people that I just need to be lifted up on a pedestal. And if I can help in some way, I'd love to. But yeah. The support is so much that I'm just like overly grateful that I think I'm being helped constantly. Like this would not work without people posting on Facebook like, hey, I'm looking for a photographer. And like people are like, Chris, you know, like go to him. And I'm like, that's so nice, like to be thought of.
Right.
And that for the photography's sake is so beneficial. I don't know of another medium or work where what I do is my marketing, you know? Like I take pictures, I share them, and that's the marketing. The marketing's already taken care of.
Right.
Because it's like, that's what I do. I can shoot from babies to elephants to anything, you know, like events. I love events. I consider myself more of a documentarian than a controlled director of a studio. Like this is challenging. This being in here and having to come up with how people should pose, how they should look. When the people ask, what should I wear? I brought these like 15 outfits. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know anything about clothing or fashion. But I must play it well on, you know, Instagram. I chose all of this. No, it's a collaboration every time we collaborate. You know, you have great ideas. I kind of know how to move the lights around. You know.
It takes two to tango.
Yeah, it takes two, and we're tangoing like, yeah, we're on the. So you think you can dance like the last episode? Like that's how we tango.
But we
At
know
this
we can
point,
dance.
Yeah, we're already knowledgeable. We're that sneaky group. We're just spinning like crazy. People are like, oh my god, you know.
And every once in a while, there's a brief moment where the camera captures bliss, life,
Yeah,
joy.
yeah.
So I think that's fantastic, and you know, I again want to thank you for taking your time out of your schedule to have this conversation with me, to open up a little bit,
Yeah.
And just to be a reminder that human connection is really what is gonna help us now, tomorrow, forever.
It is. I can't. I mean, I was looking forward to this. I was anxious, honestly, very anxious, because communication, I guess, isn't my first. Documented communication isn't my forte. I'm very much like behind the scenes, documenting people talking is great. But it's a challenge for me to think what I say matters, or it's just it's a second guessing, I guess, and I'm not confident all the way. But it's these challenges. I feel very comfortable, and I'm not uncomfortable at all. So thank you for talking with me beforehand, and yeah, I think there's so much to look forward to, and I look forward to getting you. I mean, we can hashtag GQ more, in our shoots, or just I'll email them, because I think you're ready. Always looking sharp, dapper as can be. Poses, we got looks for days. Yeah, I think you're ready. Whatever they want to sell, are you okay with being the body for that?
Yes.
Yourself is probably what they're wanting to sell. Hopefully.
Right. Yeah, I was told that I've had a face for radio, but
no.
GQ is on the list.
Radio and GQ. Yeah.
Deal.
Yeah. We're videotaping this podcast, We're breaking barriers. You were told, but you said, no, we don't. No.
We don't stop here.
No.
But
right on. Well, thank you.
Well, Chris, again, thank you for your time. Thank you for being part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I love you, and I look forward to our next hang, our next collaboration, and let's have some fun.
Yeah.
All right. That's a wrap.
Yeah.